funny Bill Squire, everybody.
All right, thank you guys. Give it a go for Tony and for everybody else. Awesome show. Oh, so this is good. This is good. I feel good. Do I look good? I don't know. I can't tell what looks good on me anymore. I just don't know. I feel like this is okay, but I feel like I look like a professor that tries to fuck his students, but they're not into it. At least not the ones he wanted. He'll find someone that will do it just for the grade, but it was not his first choice. He used to do better, but then he gained a little weight, and now it doesn't happen for him anymore. But, you know, he's got tenure, so he's fine. I don't get kids today. I don't get why they're all so sad. They have the best stuff that anyone could ask for. Like everything that kids have is the best now. Like it's so easy to be entertained or to be happy, and they're all so sad about getting bullied. Like, oh, I'm getting bullied on Facebook. Turn it off. If the answer to your bully problem is turn it off, then you're not being bullied. I can't. Like, I got bullied, and I had a coping mechanism. I knew how to deal with bullies. It's called masturbation. I couldn't turn off my bullies when they were beating the shit out of me. Like, where's the power button? Stop bullying me. You're punching me too hard. But masturbation worked every time. I'd use the classic line. You guys probably all used it too. You're rubber. I'm going to go make my own glue. So things are going to get sticky. But that's how I dealt with everything. Everything that was a problem in my life when I was a teenager, I dealt with through masturbation. Bullies. Doesn't matter. I'm going to jack off later. My teacher tells me I'm not going to graduate from high school. Doesn't matter. I'm going to jack off later. My parents tell me, Bill, you're jacking off too much. Doesn't matter. I'm going to jack off later. And then I'm going to die. I'm going to go to hell and I'll jack off there because why not? You're in hell. Can't get in trouble for it anymore in hell. So what? You come fire ants. It still feels good. That's in the Bible, right? In hell you come fire ants. It seems like it should be in there. And kids now they don't do that. And I think it's because they have too much porn. Like porn is too readily available and it's easy. And that's a scary thing because I've gone down the porn rabbit hole and you don't want to do that. Like you don't want to see all the porn because then you get bored and then you have to make porn into a game. And once porn is a game, you're kind of fucked. And not in the way you wanted. Like once you have to kind of make a game, like try to finish before the tranny pulls her dick out. I never win. Yeah. But I try, porn's something you should earn. Like you need to earn it to appreciate it. Nudity is something you should earn. Like back in the day, there was National Geographic, where you'd steal a page out of an art book of a naked lady with a giant bush, or you videotape, VCR record a squiggly boob off a cable. Even when the internet was new, you still had to earn it because you had to be a little bit clever because you didn't have an iPad or a laptop in your room. The computer was in your living room, and you had to be a little tricky. I had 3 brothers, 1 sister, and my parents in my house, and our computer was in the living room, and I knew that there was porn in there because people at church told me. People at church were like, oh, there's porn on the computer, don't go on that. I'm like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do now. They told me all the things that I wasn't supposed to do. We'd have these church assemblies, and they'd be like, oh, you need to not do this. They told us about heavy petting. They had the worst names for everything, but once I figured out what it was, they're like, ooh, don't do passionate kissing. because that leads to heavy petting, and then that could lead to digital penetration. And I'm like, why would a girl want a bunch of ones and zeros in her pussy? Yeah, that's a binary fingering joke. That's getting robo-blasted. So I learned about porn on the internet, and we had dial-up, so it was risky, because I never knew. So one day I was like, all right, I'm going to stay home from church. I pretended to be sick so I could stay home and look for naked pictures of wrestling girls. Like, that was what I was into. I was into, like, the WWF divas. It was still the WWF at the time. I don't like that it's the WWE. I feel like it's shitty that the WWE lost the title to the World Wildlife Federation. Like, I feel like a panda should have fought Steve Austin. And whoever won gets to be the WWF. But they left it up to lawyers, and that's boring. So I'm downloading all these like wrestling pictures of like Sable and all those girls, and my parents are at church. I'm having a nice time, and I'm saving them with the intention to print them off. But I realized something, that I don't know where pictures get saved on a computer. So I just keep saving all these boobs, and then I start to panic because I'm like, where do these go? So I have to do research. I learned how to use computers because of pornography. Like I got better at typing. I learned all about hard drives and how to get everything off them. So I do some research. I find out where pictures get downloaded, and it's a folder, obviously, called Downloads. And I open it up, and I realize in a house with 3 brothers and a dad, I'm not the only person to download the pictures. I was just the first one to find them. So now I have all the titties, and I'm very excited about it. So I just start printing them all off, just print. Then I do some more research, learn how to delete everything, because I don't want anyone to trace it back to me. So I deleted all their boobs, I deleted all the boobs I found, and I took my stack of titty pictures. There's like 50 girls, like 100 boobs. And Matharoo. So I take all those pictures, run upstairs to my room, as my parents and my family are getting home from church. So I know I got a good 10 minutes before anyone's going to make their way upstairs, because when you get home from church, you're hungry, so you eat first, and then you get changed in our house, because we like food a lot. I'm one of the skinnier members of my family. So they're all eating. I'm just upstairs going to town on myself, just cranking it. And it would have been great until I heard my mom yell, "How come we're out of printer ink?" I didn't think of that. So I had to lie and tell. I was like, I was working on a project while I was sick home from church. And so I needed to use a lot of printer ink. And she bought it, but not really. She just didn't want to do the research to find out that I had, she knew what I did, she just didn't know how to catch me, because she didn't know where I was storing the pictures. But it's a game of cat and mouse, hiding pornography from your parents. Like, that's a real thing. You have to keep it out of their sight, because once they find it, it gets weird. Like, has anybody here had their parents find their pornography? Anybody? I'm going to go with you, because you're a girl, and that's amazing. Tell me your story. What happened?
My stepdad found my pornography when he was copying trying to save my hard drive.
Okay, so you had...
Like a shit ton of pornography.
What kind of pornography are you into? Just for reference, like just so people know.
There's a lot of, double-ended, finger cuffs, like...
Oh, okay, yeah. A lot of MMF is what you would say? Male, female? Okay. Who are you here with? Oh, so just one guy, so you still need one more. Oh, wait, never mind. There's and the finger cuffs are complete.
My dear.
Yeah. That's nice. That's good. I like your honesty about that. I had my mom found my porn once, and it actually wasn't until I was older. This actually is a true story. If you don't know, I was raised Mormon. I served a mission in the Philippines, was excommunicated because instead of teaching people about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I was having sex with the Filipinos. Filipinas. Excommunicated, sent home, and things were a little tight. Like there was a lot of tension around the house. So my parents, they were really mad at me, but they wanted to help me. So they just password protected everything. I couldn't get on the computer. I couldn't watch TV without them. I had to scrounge for pornography. So one day I'm driving down the highway. I see a lion's den, you know, the yellow adult sign in the sky. And I'm like, oh, I'm going there. And I went in, bought some discount pornography, which is never a good idea. Like, you don't want to buy bargain bin pornography. But I was on a tight budget, and I was going for quantity over quality. I was hoping I could find some good stuff in there, and it was all right. It's a lot of, like, older women that had really big boobs, but kind of like flabby bodies. I made it work. But it wasn't like my first choice. But that's what I had. That's what I had to work with. So I got that, and I took it home, and I hid it under my mattress because I figured my parents wouldn't go looking for more things to disappoint them, and I was wrong. Because I had just started doing comedy, and one night I went out to a show, and my mom was rooting around in my room looking for evidence to make herself sad for some reason. And she found it. And I walked into the house, and there was a bunch of naked ladies ripped apart on the floor. Not real ones, just the paper. The paper ones were ripped up, and they're on the floor. And my mom was sitting on my bed crying. And it was an extra bummer because I was going into my room for like the very purpose of jacking off. Like I was going in there, I'm like, I'm gonna jack. Like I was singing a little song to myself, like because I had just started crying. I'm getting kind of funny. Now I'm gonna jack off, but my mom's crying on my bed. Like, so she's crying. There's a bunch of ripped up pornography on the floor. And through her tear, and when remember how I told you that the ladies were kind of older and flabby and had big boobs? They looked a lot like my mom. And so it was really weird. So through her tears, she asked me, "Why does this turn you on?" And I didn't want to get into everything like, oh, I just bought the cheapest porn I could find, because I didn't want her to feel bad. Like, I didn't want her to have, like, body issues, like, oh, I'm the cheap porn. So, so what I said to her was, I don't want to discuss what gives me a boner with you. Also, you owe me $14. Which she still owes me to this day. But I think I'm going to let it go. God, I forget this line every fucking time. I was talking about bullies at the beginning, and I completely forget it every time. So I'm just going to throw it in here at the end, and hopefully it gets a laugh, and then I can end this set. Because bullies are important. I tried to do this joke on my first Perfect 10, and I fucking forgot it then, too. Bullies are important. You need a bully. Otherwise, movies would be weird. If there's no bad guy in the movie, it's just awkward. Like, if there's no Biff in Back to the Future, then Michael J. Fox is just a guy that went back in time to feel up his mom. And I'll be honest, that's kind of funny now that I told you guys the whole porn looked like my mom story. So it kind of worked out better. All right. Thank you guys all very much. My name is Bill Squire.